Now, look, I mean, sometimes, you know, it is fun to meet new people.
You couldn't even say that with a straight face. Hello and welcome to Is This Good? The show where we boldly, conclusively, and scientifically decide what things in this big wide world are good.
Hello.
Today we're...
Whoops.
Whoops.
Whoa. Malfunction.
Hello.
I was listening to the cadence of your voice, not the words you were saying.
Oh my God. Is he having an aneurysm?
Are you okay, man?
No, I'm very tired.
Okay, well, I was going to say today we're back with an...
Hello.
Yeah, but, see, now, I was going to say today we're back with another all-listener-submitted mailbag episode. Mm-hmm. So fine, that's where I would normally be saying, what do I normally say?
I don't know. Joining me from across the transom.
Everyone's
I'm
broken.
not sure what you say.
Is production powerhouse Jason Doyle. And then you say hello, but I didn't even say any of that either.
Know.
So you did it, even if I was about to say that, you were still wrong.
Here's what happened. You were speaking, and I started nodding, and I closed my eyes, and then I started thinking to myself, I don't know if I can reopen my eyes again. And then I did, and I was like, yes, small victory there. And then I thought, oh, it's time for me to say hello. So I said hello. I gambled, and I lost.
Oh, well,
Sometimes
you just got to throw it out there and hope it works. Oh, well, I guess we've already gone to this part, but joining me on this trip to the post office, they put the forever in forever stamps, Jason and Rachel Doyle. Now, Rachel, you could say hello, too.
Hello. I'm concerned. I'm like, oh my God. Am I off sync?
No,
What
it's
happened?
all me.
It was also the funniest hello. It was just so matter-of-fact. Hello.
Hey, I just met with the President of the United States of America, so I'm all business.
A lot of people are saying November 21st is going to be as resonant as January 6th. Is that true?
Maybe. Way easier for me to get into the Capitol, I'll tell you that.
Well, if you want to hear about JD's journey to Washington and I guess an explanation of why he's so tired, that will be on Thursday's Patreon-only episode. Because this is a mailbag episode. If you want to hear about JD's journey to Washington, you should have sent us an email about it.
Yeah, you should have.
But you didn't. So now that's going on Thursday. Though, that being said, this is not anything about mail, but this is late breaking news. I have to bring it up right now because this podcast almost did not happen. I got an email this morning from AT&T that said, it's time to return your equipment. And the only service I have with AT&T is the internet. I, of course, ignored it. I was like, I'm busy, and that's obviously a complete mistake. I just got AT&T fiber literally 2 months ago.
Wow.
And then just before the show, like literally 30 minutes before we turned on the Zoom, I see that email again, and I scroll down, and it says, service disconnection November 22nd, which is Friday.
Wow.
Okay, that's today. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Is my service going to be cut off in the middle of this podcast? So I'm like, God damn it, I got to call them. So I call them. I say, is something going on? Because I got this email, obviously by mistake, saying my service is going to be cut off today and I need to return my equipment. But that's a mistake, right? He's like, I'm sure it is, sir. Let me check the oh, no, you did cancel your service. And I was like,
What the
what?
hell?
When? Like, did that come through the app? He's like, no. You called, you inputted the correct PIN, and actually, it says here that your account has actually been flagged for rudeness. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah. So what you called? You demanded a discount, then you escalated it to a manager. And then when we told you you couldn't get a discount, you angrily demanded that your service be canceled tomorrow. I was like, what are you talking about? It's me and my girlfriend. And I'll tell you what, my girlfriend doesn't even know the PIN. Not because I don't trust her, but she's never asked for it.
Right.
That is wild.
I didn't know they did that. That's pretty cool.
So my question is, I'm bringing this up. Someone smarter than me, explain this scam to me. what is in it for the other? First of all, should I be thanking this other person? What if they had demanded a discount and got it?
Right. How'd they get your PIN, though? It must have been you. Maybe it was, I don't know, in a sleep-deprived, episode, or you were sleepwalking and you
I don't
sleep
think so.
ranting or something.
Maybe you did this, Jason.
I don't know.
Because you were like, I'm going to be too tired to do the show. Master plan.
Sabotage?
Oh, that's very interesting, Rachel. My podcasting enemies have tried to cut me off at the knees, and that's the internet.
Wow.
I can't understand what could it be? And so I'm asking the guy, I'm like, what is the scam? He's like, not everything is a scam, sir. I'm like, yeah, but
Wow.
why would someone do this? He's like, well, they do a lot of social engineering. Like, social engineering is like the hacker term for, like, instead of stealing your password, they're maybe asking you questions that would lead you to give away certain information. But the funniest thing is the guy that was helping me was like, I'm really sorry that this happened to you, sir, because I pride myself on being really good at figuring out if someone is telling the truth or not. And I'm like, yeah, okay. He's like, let me give you an example. Let's say you call and you say your name is John Simpson. But then I can tell from the way you're talking, if you know what I mean, that you're not John Simpson. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, this guy clearly wants to do an accent so badly, but, they won't. AT&T's gone woke, and they won't let this guy do an accent.
So he believes you then.
Oh, he believed me right away. He was like, yeah.
Wait a minute. Are you sure that the call that you made today wasn't the scam? Where'd you get the number?
Interesting. It came to me in a dream. No, it's not a scam. Why would that be part of the scam?
Well, they say, hey, we're cutting off your
internet.
You call us immediately, and you call the number,
and you
give
them
them
all
your
your
PIN
info.
and your info.
No, but there was no number. In fact, the email was fully legit because it was like, don't reply to this, whatever. And then I went and just called the regular AT&T customer service line.
Wow.
Separately. Like, it wasn't like it was led to me through that email.
So how do you get off this rude list? And you're on a rude list now.
So now he told me that every time I call, normally they just ask for your PIN. He said, we are going to end the call and they are going to call you back.
Oh.
Like, you know what I mean? On the number we have on file. And that's how we're going to verify it to you.
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I mean, he believed me right away and he was very nice, but I don't understand this.
I don't
if you
get
understand this, please explain this to me. If only a reply all still existed, I could send this to them. But
someone wants you off the air.
Someone wants me off the air.
There's
Rachel.
a way easier ways to do that.
I know.
Maybe it's Jill.
Pay me $10. That's the best way to get me on. If you never do another show and I give you $10 right now, will you do it? How much money would someone have to give you, JD, to never do this show again?
This show, there is no
amount of money.
No amount of money. No amount of money.
I would say $20,000. You might think about it.
$20,000?
That's like
No.
Your friendship is
No
compromised,
way.
Matt. That's
No,
you're
I will
worth
say,
more than that.
Give me 5. Give me 5 of the 20. Okay, I will say this. For $100,000, I will stop podcasting.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's going to take me a while to make that.
Yeah.
And then in that time, I will invest that money and be making 6 to 8%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. What do you invest
It's
in?
all about having the capital. That's what I know.
Yep.
All right, well, let's get into the mails. But seriously, if you understand what the hell just happened to me, please explain it to me because I don't understand.
It's odd.
It's very weird.
Just sounds like kids. Kids out
Sounds
there.
like rascally kids.
Let's get this old guy's internet cut off. Ha.
Hey, kids, put flaming poop on my porch, okay? Like, go to the classics. This was inconvenient. By the way, though, I did get $20. He was like, I'll give you a credit of $20.
Wow. Okay.
So I made money. In your fucking face, hackers. That's what I want to know. If they'd said, I want a discount, and the AT&T people would have been like, okay. And then he would have just hung up.
Yeah.
That's the funniest part. Like, if the scam is to somehow get my thing disconnected, just call and say, I'd like to disconnect my service. Anyway, Thanksgiving's coming up, so we do have a mail question about it. Here we go. Hello, is this good crew? With Thanksgiving coming up, I messaged 2 of my closest friends to arrange a Friendsgiving with our partners and a couple of mutual friends. One of them offered to host, which works out great because he has a bigger home. I messaged the group chat to confirm the number of people coming so we could start assigning dishes and planning how much food to make. I was shocked when he told me how many people were suddenly coming. Turns out he invited some coworkers and some of his girlfriend's friends and some of her family. I'm pretty bummed because I was really looking forward to an intimate night with close friends, but now strangers outnumber our friend group. Strangers giving just doesn't have the same ring to it. I'm totally happy to go to a bigger party, and he is the host, but this whole thing was my idea, and I wouldn't have ceded hosting duties if I knew he was planning on making it a bigger thing. This leads me to ask, inviting people who don't know each other to a Friendsgiving, is this good? Ian in Sacramento. What a pickle you've gotten yourself, Ian. Now, we've all heard the expression, if you want something right, do it yourself.
Yeah.
A corollary would be if you want the party to be exactly what you want it to be, host it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But JD, what is your immediate reaction to this?
Yeah, I mean, you just hit the nail on the head right there. You can't relinquish control of the hosting duties. You want a small, intimate affair, you got to have it at your small, intimate abode, unfortunately. Now, look, I mean, sometimes, it is fun to meet new people.
You couldn't even say that with a straight face.
But
you're not great meeting new people, by the way, JD.
Yeah.
Hi, hello.
Yeah, I'm awful at it. I never know when.
What
to
do you
talk.
do for work? Hello.
Yeah, I had one job and I fucked it up today. I mean, listen. I guess the mistake they made was inviting too many people. One, maybe, right? Like, okay, I'm having Friendsgiving. This guy over here, he's got no family in town. Bring him. Bring that one person, right?
But it's not a mistake. The guy is not making a mistake. He's like, turns out we're having a Friendsgiving at our house, babe. She's like, oh, who are we inviting?
Right.
He's like, oh, well, my classic old friends who you know.
Yeah.
Then, why don't we invite Dean from accounting and, obviously your friends can come, sweetheart.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, well, my brother is actually in town. Oh, invite him too. Right. And now it's not a mistake by any means. It's like this guy, we have to assume good faith on his part.
Yeah.
He's like, it's Friendsgiving, babe, and I'm inviting my friends.
Well, I'm saying it's a mistake because he's unaware that he's pissed his original friend off.
Right. Like, you think he's just oblivious.
Yeah, well, he's definitely oblivious to it. But and now it's my party, though, so I'm inviting who I want.
Is it a faux pas, though? Like,
yeah.
Rachel, do you think it's a faux pas? Like, so you're saying that Ian just calling it a Friendsgiving, and let's say, for the sake of argument, they're inviting 4 couples total.
Right.
Friendsgiving, let's have it with the core group chat. That's 8 people, 4 couples. Mm-hmm. Is it a faux pas that Ian's friend did not check with him and say, like, hey, I know. Okay. So interesting.
Well, I mean, you've got a group text going, and clearly you're working together to organize this, so much so that you're like, oh, this guy is like, oh, well, you know what? My house is bigger. I think that's where you should get suspicious. Why?
Oh, so you think he purposely did it? Not out of the goodness of his own heart. He basically was like, I'm going to wrest control of this Friendsgiving from you, and there's nothing you can do.
I mean, it's a possibility, but if it's intimate, why do you need a bigger space?
Because, what if Ian lives in a no offense to you, Matt, a small apartment like Matt has?
Hello.
I mean,
our
Sorry.
living space is tiny.
Jill posted a picture of your Christmas tree, which is lovely, by the way, but I couldn't help noticing how it's looming over your 2-top dining room table. Like, I was like, who's sitting in that chair?
No one's sitting in that. Yeah, no one's sitting in that.
Well, I'm just saying that you don't.
Believe me, that place is better than every other place you put the tree, where I had to pretend that I was like, oh, it's fine there.
Right, right. Well, it's an absolute disaster that we can't see it in your shot here on Zoom. But look, you don't have the facilities to host an 8-person dinner party, right. And it may simply be that he has a dining room table, this other guy, right? Or this other person.
Yeah, it could be that simple.
So, I don't think there's any ill will by anyone.
No, I don't think it's, But at the same time, when you do have that much space and you're like, ooh, I'm the host.
Right.
I have control. You want to come? Come.
Yeah. That's. I think you're right in that it's an event that they were planning together, and just by it was like a better venue was that guy's place, so they picked that place. But now he's gone crazy.
Consult with the team first, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I've actually just turned on this. Ian's friend is bad. Very bad. He should have checked with them now that because let's say you want to do the go around the table. What are we thankful for? Which is a required part of both Thanksgivings and Friendsgivings.
Sure.
You don't want to do that with strangers.
Well,
Yeah,
you
it's
don't
hard.
also want to be at the end of the table with someone you don't know for 3 hours.
Right.
That's
Like,
true.
Right.
That's
This is not
true.
intimate.
Right.
This is not Friendsgiving. This is a chore all of a sudden.
Yeah, I wanted to sit next to Mike, and I've got fucking Dean from accounting talking my ear off.
Now, that being said, when I used to live in Atlanta, we would do Friendsgivings, colleague givings.
Sure.
And depending on who hosted it, there would be a different subset of people, depending on who. Now, you might think the friends were, let's say, me, you, Lee, Tass, Trey, Skeets.
Yes.
And then maybe there's other people that we all knew in common in Atlanta. Maybe it wouldn't be weird that they were there.
Yeah.
But then we each have certain people that we were friends with that were not necessarily friends with other people, but depending on whose house it was, they would probably feel more leeway to invite them. Because from that other person's perspective, I guess to be kind, if I'm hosting a Friendsgiving at my house and a friend that I'm friends with but you're not friends with is like, oh, what are you doing for Friendsgiving? Now I feel like it's incumbent on me to invite them
Right.
because they are my friend.
Right.
But when that sort of thing was happening here, it wasn't separate for Thanksgiving, right? So it was kind of still Thanksgiving.
Right. Friendsgiving is sometimes
Separate. Like you have 2 of them.
Oh, it's absolutely separate. Oh, you're saying because we didn't have families.
Right.
That
Yeah.
was really
that was
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, the general thing that I would say to Ian is there's literally a phrase called house rules, right?
Sure.
Like if we're playing Monopoly at Ian's house, he's free to do whatever rules he wants. At my house, we stack the fines and the taxes, and if you land on free parking, you get them.
Yeah.
And some people that drives them nuts. But sorry, Ian, you're at my house, and you're gonna lose control of the music. Maybe the overhead lights are gonna be on, and you're smart enough to shut them off at your house.
Yeah.
Maybe the TV's gonna be on or off. Depending. It could be a shoes on or off house. And frankly, even the host is going to have a lot more control over the food.
Yeah.
Being like, we don't want to do that. Or,
Yeah.
let us just do the turkey because we'll roast it here. You know what I'm saying? You're losing a lot of control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dean from accounting is allergic to pine nuts, so no pesto, guys.
Oh my
that's my
God.
specialty,
No
man.
Thanksgiving pesto?
Classic. Jesus.
Everyone's favorite dish. Okay, he should have checked with you. I think you're right.
I agree. Yeah.
And he's not being a good friend. So I think you should disinvite him from your Friendsgiving.
You're only invited to Thanksgiving now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
not
only
fun
invite
one.
Actual intimate
The
affair.
boring one.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Hi, guys. Have you ever beaten the system in a way that you're proud of? That's from Tired Oxen via Discord. Oh, Discord. Coming straight out of a thriving community of Discord.
Wow, that is a thriving question.
Patreon.com/isthisgood. That's crazy, man. I'm not going to talk about this one, but the one that for me sticks out, my best ever, is getting like $10,000 from the apartment that I was going to leave
yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever top that.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. I
But
mean,
we've
is
heard
that
about that before.
beating the system? I guess it's beating the system.
Yeah, it's absolutely beating the system.
Yeah. I'm a serial rules follower. Like,
Yeah.
I work within the system. And just coming like off the top of my head right now, like I didn't know this question was coming, even though it was in our last batch of questions and last month's batch of questions. I still haven't.
And even though you did ask me this morning, and I told you that you're like, didn't we do this already? I said no.
No,
it was
we're talking
in the last mail show.
That was a
that was
different
a
one.
different question.
I know,
We'll get
but
to
I
that.
wrote back to you,
Yeah.
and I said the last one
Yeah.
and the one about getting away with a scam were in the last mail show, but we never got to them.
Okay, I know.
I half
know.
believe you.
All right.
Double
I'm saying-
reminder.
Okay, let me say my answer.
Okay.
I just
Hello.
took a flight. Hello. And every time I have not gotten pre-check. I did sign up for Clear one time for a trial, which I had for a whole year, and I barely ever used it. But I don't have pre-check. I don't have Nexus. I don't have any of those skip the line type things for TSA. And I staunchly believe that you don't need it. I think that I've been in the line, in the regular line, and I've seen the pre-check line I saw yesterday was like snaking out of the area for pre-check, and I fucking breezed right through regular. Right. So I think the system is set up for, go to Home Depot, pay whatever you're going to pay, and then you'll have pre-check. But I won't do it because every time that I'm delayed at pre-check, I'm going to be fucking furious.
Why are you going to be delayed?
Because it just takes a long time. In pre-check.
Am I not understanding what you're saying? Why is pre-check
because
slower?
I've seen the lineup longer than the actual.
Okay, but that's like saying, that's like the kind of person that goes, oh, every time I get in line at the grocery store, mine is always the slowest. Because you remember the times when it's slow.
Yeah,
and you don't remember
exactly.
the times when you just go normally.
Right, but I don't care if the pre-check line is shorter because I don't have pre-check. Do you see what I'm saying? So I beat the system.
I actually
He is digging
don't
deep.
understand.
Why did
don't
you say
understand
Home
what you're
Depot?
saying.
I'm so confused right now.
Was it Home Depot or Staples or whatever? Yeah, that's
Rachel,
happening?
is he okay? Can you do a wellness check on your husband, please?
I'm going to.
Where do you get the pre-check? It's not Home Depot. Sorry.
Why would you get pre-check at Home Depot?
I meant Office Depot. Whatever.
Why would you get it at either of those places?
You'd go. Isn't that where you go to get your interview?
We're going to be visiting urgent care after this.
Sorry, so just to be clear, you think that the way to get the thing where you go through the airport quickly and don't take your shoes off and leave your laptop in your bag is to go to Home Depot or Office Max?
You go pick it up with your binders and stamps.
That counter is to choose your paint chips, honey. The dementia
No, I'm
setting
telling
in
you,
early.
I shall be vindicated in the comments. They were going to say, yes, you go to Office Depot. I misspoke when I said Home Depot, but...
No, that's not the... I'm going to guarantee you that's not going to be the problem, but anyway.
Jesus, this is why you didn't want to go to D.C.
Yeah.
Well, and to get my global entry, I go to Joanne Fabrics.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well,
I'm
I got
sure.
a couple,
Anyways, whatever.
I got a couple of beating the system. When I came back from Italy, I was landed in Los Angeles, got into the Uber, and the Uber driver turns around and goes, Uber's been really crazy lately, huh? Like, okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Fella.
Yeah, I just took a ride. I just gave someone a ride, and it was from the airport. It was $85. I'm like, yeah, I know, it's expensive sometimes. He's like, and you know how much of that I got? And I'm like, no. It's like, $42. I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, that's not a lot. No. Honestly, I don't want to exaggerate, but I think it was even less than that. Oh. And I'm like, yeah, that does suck. He's like, yeah, they're really taking a lot compared to what they give me. And I'm like, yeah, that is really bad. Wondering, where is this going? Mm-hmm. And then he paused and he's like, so maybe you just, I just don't start this thing and you give me $50 cash? And I was like, okay. And that was it.
Nice.
We beat the system, baby. We both won. He got some tax-free cash, made more than he would have been paid out by Uber, and I paid less than I would have been charged.
You had $50 cash on you?
No, I think I Zelled him. Honestly, that was the longest part at the end when I got home trying to figure out how to. First, he was like, Venmo me. Then he's like, oh, no, not Venmo, the other one, Zelle. But it's still worth it.
Sorry. So, oh my God, this is how your PIN is out there and all your information has been leaked.
Why? I can Zelle someone without.
Well, hold on. So you order the Uber. He arrives. Then he cancels the ride.
I think. I can't remember if he asked me to cancel the ride or he canceled the ride. But either way, it was either that, like the $5, we included that in the fee.
Uh-huh.
I think that's what it was. He's like, it's going to be $5, but then, you pay me $45.50. I forget exactly. It was still cheaper either way. I saved at least $30.
He's suspicious.
I don't
Matt.
like this.
Okay.
He likes
I
it.
don't know if your opinion is valid right now.
That's true. He likes a well-oiled system, though, too.
I mean, I think that they are getting gouged, the drivers.
Yeah, they're
and you're
100%
not
getting
to mention the extra insurance that they probably aren't paying but should be paying, and the gas for the car, especially out in LA. What is it for a gallon of gas these days out in California?
$55.
Wow, that is
Yep.
very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm all for, under the table transactions, I suppose.
I don't see what
It's
the
a
problem
slippery
is here.
slope, though. That
Okay.
now it's just dudes hanging out at the airport. Hey, want to ride?
Well, good.
That's
We're
already
all
a
winning. We're all winning. We need to take Uber down from the inside.
I didn't like that the few times at the airport. I was coming home when these guys are like cornering me and going, "You want to ride?" I'm like, "Eh." But I think it's
No,
different
that's
for
different.
women. Like,
That's
"No, thank
different.
you."
Yeah.
No, that can absolutely be a scam, especially if you're in a foreign country when they're just like touts are coming up to you and that's a different thing. Rachel, do you have any beating the system stories? Are you a little more devious than your husband?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
Honestly,
great.
I've been sitting on this one for a while too, going, no.
Okay, here's a way you could do it, because I've actually been getting more aggressive with customer service, not in terms of my tone and my language, but let's say something I have breaks down and the warranty will be for a year and it'll be 2 years in. Or...
Is that cat
The
okay?
fuck was that?
Sound like your cat.
That cat is sleeping. Anyway, all right, whatever, not important. Okay, so for instance, the air fryer broke. I called,
Yeah.
and they're like, "It's a 1-year warranty." I
Right.
said, "Well, it's been 18 months, so you're telling me that you're fine with your product breaking down 6 months later?" Mm-hmm. And then they're like, "Well, we can't." And then I'm insistent, and I got a new air fryer. Vacuum, new vacuum. Electric kettle, they ghosted me. They said they didn't want anything to do with me. They said, "We don't care if you never buy our product again. We're not giving you jack shit." Air purifier, got a new one, and mine was discontinued, so I got a better one.
I don't believe it wasn't you on that AT&T call.
Yeah, I know. I'm not
Right.
really beating the charges here.
I just had that happen to me with our fucking stupid dishwasher, and we're going
Yeah.
without a dishwasher now. Because
Yeah, I
I
don't have
tried
a
the same
dishwasher.
shit, and I'm like, so if I don't buy an extended warranty on this, it's not supposed to last for even 2 years. She's like,
I know, it's
"Oh."
insane, right?
And her only response was, "Oh, that's disappointing." I'm like, that's it? That's all you got for me, bitch?
That's it. Now
it's
you're
so-
on the
I'm like-
rude list at Whirlpool, Rachel.
Fuck Whirlpool.
Wow.
I want the Maytag man. Patch me through. He's on a call. You know that's a lie. He's always bored.
That's right.
Speaking of dishwashing and planned obsolescence, the thing that's driving me nuts now is a product that is too cheap to complain about, but we bought this just a Dawn, from Target foaming dispenser. So it's the same fucking Dawn dishwash, but it's in a foaming dispenser.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, I loved foaming it over the pad, the dish pad.
Sure.
It was just much better than the squirt.
Yeah.
And then it finished, and then I was like, oh, well, let's just replace it with more Dawn dish soap. And it wasn't
Yeah.
even generic soap. We just happened to have more Dawn. Refilled it. The thing doesn't fucking foam anymore.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
It's there is a YouTube that you can look up on. It's a solution that you can make by yourself. Like
I can make my own foam.
yeah, you can. I'm not kidding. You just go down to the Office Depot.
Yeah.
And right next to the kiosk. No, I'm just kidding. There is a way to do it. I've seen it. I've run across it before. But yeah. Look it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not calling Dawn to complain about their thing. The funniest thing, actually, is that then I was like, well, this thing is useless now, so had to recycle it. Then Jill comes home with Dawn dish spray. Have you seen this?
Oh yeah. Rachel won't let me buy it, but I'm
No,
intrigued
don't.
by
It's a
it.
scam.
Yeah.
If you don't know what it is, picture like a Windex bottle, but instead of Windex, it has dish soap in it.
Yeah.
Same thing. It'll spray And it's just an excuse to make you use more because you're spraying it on the dishes instead of on the pad, you know? But you refill it, now it's not spraying anymore.
Why aren't we just adding it to the water like the good old days, folks?
That's what I do.
No, interesting. I don't think that's the proper way to wash dishes. You're saying fill the sink, put the soap in, foam it up?
Well, we have
because then all the water gets dirty.
We have a dish pan.
No, I spritz the soap all over the dishes. The water runs in, everything gets foamy. And then, the water gets dirty, but I always rinse every dish after I've scrubbed it. So everything's off of it.
That's 2 waters then. You're using all that water to fill and then the water to rinse.
It's not running the whole time.
Moving on.
So
here's the question that you thought you already answered, but you didn't. Starts off with the greatest brag ever. Hey, man. I'm a pretty experienced fish keeper. I have both a freshwater and saltwater tank. And in my saltwater tank, I have an anemone that hosts a family of 6 clownfish. The most common thing I hear from people looking at my tank is, "Oh my God, it's Nemo." And I absolutely hate it. In my opinion, seeing an animal and immediately saying a media reference to an animated version of that animal is embarrassing and annoying. It shows you don't know anything about animals. It's very childish coming from an adult and very annoying coming from a kid. My friend works at the Calgary Zoo and she says it's one of the most annoying things about working there. Everybody thinks they're the funniest parent in the world when they point to a hippo and say, "Look, it's Gloria." Is this as bad as I think it is? It certainly isn't good. That's from Jake.
I swear to God, we've already done this. I'm losing my goddamn mind. Okay.
I mean,
we haven't.
Go on. We must have talked about it off the air.
Listeners will tell us otherwise.
Okay, well, let's hear your answer then that you've already given.
Fucking relax is all I have to say.
Relax.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I feel like in this dream, this is the same conclusion we all came to.
Okay,
last
so
time.
you're saying relax. People aren't used to seeing clownfish.
Yeah.
Other than, I mean, I didn't know what a clownfish was until I saw Finding Nemo. Really? I mean,
yeah, but you know what a hippo is.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's that. I mean, I had to look up what Gloria was. It's what is it? Madagascar, which I've never seen. Maybe you've seen.
I've never seen that.
Everyone knows what a hippo is. It's not weird to me that they're calling it by a famous animated version of that, especially if they're at a zoo with their kids trying to get the kids excited about the animals.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very normal to me.
Yeah.
And now, Rachel, you don't know this because there's a follow-up to this that I did not send you. So I assumed that what Jake was like really upset about was he had taken great care to name his 6 clownfish. And that he was pissed off that people were just like, "Oh, that's Nemo. That one's Nemo. Nemo 1, Nemo 2. So I said, "What are the names of your fish?" Because I was like, maybe these are banging ass names. He writes back, "Hi, Matt. Thanks for asking. There's no point in me naming them. I can hardly tell them apart. Plus, if they have names, it makes it sadder if the anemone rejects them and kills them. Better for everybody that they just remain clownfish." I found this to be so funny. He's like, "No, these things are just going to fucking die. Like, why would I go through the trouble of naming them? So then why do you care that people are pointing to your unnamed fish and going, 'Oh, Nemo'?"
That's just the bee he houses in that bonnet of his. You know, we all have something weird that bugs the shit out of us, I guess. And that's his, maybe.
And I love that it says, "I love you, Jake." But yeah, you're dead wrong on this. Like, forget animated things. People still call a gorilla Coco, right? Because of the famous Coco.
I swear we already did this, Coco. We had this Coco conversation.
We did not do this.
Okay, deja vu, go away. Freaking out.
Okay, did you also say this? If you see an orca, you say "Free Willy."
This is feeling too familiar. I think I'm having the same stroke you are, Jason.
Okay. How about this? You guys mute your mics, and I'll just keep going here.
Keep going.
All right. A lion is Simba. It's always going to be Simba. You're just going to have to get used to that. But this is also a movie thing.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
Like if you have a relationship with a friend, and what people are going to say, "Oh, when Harry met Sally." That's just what things are going to be. Yeah. Now, counterpoint. They're calling the hippo at the Calgary Zoo Gloria instead of whatever its name. Let's say its name is Fancy. Because Gloria from Madagascar, even though I've never heard of her, is more popular than this particular hippo.
Right.
But I'll tell you what. people that go to the Khao Q Open Zoo in Chonburi, Thailand, they ain't calling that hippo Gloria. They're calling that hippo Mudang because it's a famous fucking hippo.
Right.
And you know what they're calling Mudang's parents? Mudang's parents, because Mudang is now the famous thing.
Right.
So have a more famous animal, people will call it by its name. If it's just a generic hippo, they're going to call it Gloria. If it's a generic lion, they're going to call it Simba. That's all I have to say about that. All right, some quick housekeeping. If you want to support the show so my co-hosts can get the medical care they need and deserve, go to patreon.com/isthisgood. You'll get ad-free episodes. You'll get access to our thriving community on Discord, and you'll get an exclusive episode every month, which is coming out next week, where we will hear JD's full experience at the White House. It was any previews of it?
Well, yeah.
Tune in next week if you'd like to support the show.
There we go. Who knows what he'll say?
Well, here's the thing.
God.
I'm concerned.
Oh, Jesus.
That Tass is gonna tell everything on Monday's No Dunks. So today's No Dunks when it comes out. Because we are gonna talk about it, and then I'm gonna get yelled at because content.
No. I know how you talk about things on No Dunks. We'll do it in a different way.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be.
And also the way
scenes.
The way that Tass talks about it is different than how you talk about it. Tass might be like, if I had asked Tass a week ago, "Hey man, are you excited to go to the White House?" He might be like, "Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm excited to wear my suit on the plane. I'm excited that we're getting in the same day of the thing." Mm-hmm. Whereas you had a completely different perspective on it.
I did, yeah.
And that's what we're going to give our listeners on the Patreon exclusive next week. Also, if you are in the thriving community of Discord, you can write an AMA question and I will ask it on that very show. And you can send topics for future shows to isisgoodpod@gmail.com. Subscribe on YouTube. And remember, it's the last week to celebrate Nonverbal November. It's been a huge success. People are talking about it. Let's end it on a high note. Of course, don't sing the high note.
Right. Yeah.
Mouth it.
Yes.
While pointing your finger in the air in an exaggerated manner. Like, so instead of going, go.
That's right. But now it looks like you're singing at a frequency that only dogs can hear. You know what I mean? Like
I was. Wow. If your dog is barking, that's on me.
Once she isn't, but...
All right, let's get to the next one. Hey, Matt and JD and Rachel. I was looking for a plumber this week, and I came across one that was bragging about being a top plumber on Angie's List in 2015. Mm-hmm. That's all good and all, but it begs the question, what's happened since? Am I to assume their level of quality dipped? Is it better to forego mentioning any awards recognition like this after a couple years? They were obviously on Angie's radar at some point, but now can no longer hack it. So boasting about past awards, is this good? Love the show. From Tom in San Diego. JD, what do you think about this?
Well, it's hard to say because how hard is it to get on Angie's List? You know what I mean? Like, is it like winning an Emmy, you know?
No, I think it's easy to get on Angie's List. It's hard to be in the
to get the award.
Top plumber
No, yeah,
category.
sorry. I meant the top tier, like Angie's favorites or whatever. Like, it could just be something that they just sort of, you know, you got on the list.
Well,
this
okay,
year
then counterpoint, if it's that easy, then why don't they have it for 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, and so on?
I think it's something they spread out to everyone because they want a lot of people on this list. They're not going to give it to you. They want more people on the list. More.
So you're saying Angie has no integrity? She's not judging this based on who the actual good plumbers are?
I think Angie gives everyone a trophy. Everyone's great.
No way.
Come on.
No
I
way
mean,
that's the case.
Or you're hyped up about getting this award, so you get, please fill out the review. Fill out the review. So these awards are given by how many good reviews you get. And after a while, you're like, you get tired of begging every customer to give you a good review.
No, okay. Why couldn't it be based on, for instance, the most booked out plumber? Because one would assume that if people keep booking and telling people about them, then that plumber is going to have the most bookings on Angie's List. And so they give the top 5 best in plumbing.
So you think that Angie's List records every booking that plumber gets? It's not just like a directory to find the plumber.
You know, I've never been on Angie's List. They have rebranded as Angie. Good luck with that.
Right.
I assume so because I've used things like this in Canada.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously, it's just like Airbnb knows how many times your Airbnb has been rented out. Yeah.
Okay,
Really?
let me
Why? What do you mean?
I think it's probably
digital.
just a directory. Because once the plumber gets the
My
recommendation
God,
or
I'm gonna
whatever.
go to. Hopefully,
Yeah,
they
we
don't
should have
cut
did
off
a
my
little
internet.
research on this to know a little more
Okay,
about
but
Angie's
I
List.
think that's totally besides the point because I've seen this, like, the free weekly papers, like Toronto. What was the Toronto Eye?
Now Magazine? Yeah, I Magazine.
Now Magazine, or Montreal Mirror, or Atlanta had Creative Loafing. All of these free weeklies do a best in town issue once a year.
Right.
And I've been to like hair cutting places, for instance, where they'll put like Montreal Mirror, best salon, 2009. And then I'm like going there in 2020 and I'm like, what's going on here?
But isn't that because of how many people that give good reviews for them? And like, maybe like, do you think they're just not pushing as hard after a while? They're like, I'm good. You got enough business. I don't want to beg everyone to give me a good review. Oh.
Well, those aren't based on reviews, though. I think those are mostly popularity contests where they're like, well, for instance, there's this thing called like a taco showdown, right? LA known for its tacos. Yeah. So every taco stand or shop will be like, put on Instagram, vote for us in this contest, vote for us in this contest. Yeah. And then it becomes a popularity. I'm sure some people are voting authentically, but for a lot of people, it's just a popularity contest. Yeah. But I do think it's weird. And here's the easy solve. Just say, instead of saying, what year was this? 2015?
15. That's 9 years ago.
I know. Just say, top plumber, Angie's List. It's not untrue. Whether that was in 2015 or 2024, it doesn't make it any less true.
So how do you get this award? Like, what is it that grants you this award? What have you done?
Well,
you think it's volume?
Okay, well, what if I said this to you, Rachel? You don't say Jason Doyle, or you would say Jason Doyle is an Emmy Award-winning director. What you would not say is Jason Doyle is the recipient of the 2015 Sports Emmy for Outstanding Interactive Experience and Digital Innovation.
That's right.
Non-original programming, event coverage.
Yeah.
Esports division.
Yeah.
Sega Dreamcast. Congrats on that one, by the way. You just say Jason Doyle is an Emmy Award-winning director. You don't say the year.
Yeah. No, I agree with what you're saying. I'm just curious of what it is that got them the award. I want to know.
Excellence. What do you mean what got them the award?
Well, the number of shits they snaked out of the toilet, the number of times they didn't actually put their client out by flooding the ceiling like our plumber did.
Okay, this is not.
But what difference does it make whether it's popularity or true merit? Like, let's say you're like Angie's List has an inspector that goes to every single plumber and they nominate the best ones. What difference does it make? The question is still, if you got it in 2015 and it's 2024, should you still put it up? Because it does. In 2015, it looked great. But now it kind of makes it look like you are slacking off or other people have come into the market that are better than you. I say the easy answer is just take out the year.
Yeah. No, that's the right solution.
Yeah, but
sure.
But what about a Michelin star? You can lose a Michelin star. Right?
Correct.
You can go down one. So they have. That's what they have to do. It has to be like you keep it until you lose it. Basically,
Angie's List for continued excellence.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So So the Michelin star is an interesting example because you in 2024. Let's say you were a 2-star restaurant in 2020. Yeah. You can't say you're a 2-star restaurant in 2024. If you've gone down to 1 star, you say you are a 1-star restaurant.
Exactly.
But that's like an iterative process. Like Michelin is constantly ranking these restaurants. If for instance, they'd been given, I don't know, one of the world's 50 best restaurants in 2020, you could still say 2020 50 best restaurants. But then people would be like, oh, have you fallen off? Because I've noticed you haven't won that award for the last 4 years.
Right. I mean, sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Angie's List like the Michelin guide? Like for,
No.
It's not? Well, what is the difference between that and Craigslist?
It's your home for everything. Get verified reviews help you tackle cleaning, roofing, remodeling, and more.
Right.
Angie makes it easy.
Okay,
I'm going to click on plumbing.
It's got to just be a directory.
Well, it definitely is, but I thought it was a paid service, right? Like you pay to as a consumer to be on Angie's list.
No, you don't pay to look on. Do you?
You pay to look. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you paid as the person.
No,
like
you
the
don't
plumber.
pay to look. You pay to book.
Yeah,
All right, I'm moving on. I don't give a fuck about Angie or her list.
Wait a minute. You paid a book?
It's what is so okay, I could be wrong, but I think it's this. You have your toilet is busted. You don't know a plumber.
Right.
You go on Angie's list. You
Yeah.
type in your postal code and your address. They say, here's plumbers in your area. You look at the reviews and then you book one. It sends that booking to the plumber. That plumber contacts you and says, hey, you want me to come fix your toilet?
Right. So you have to pay.
I was the best plumber in 1994.
Right.
Don't you think the plumber's paying to be on Angie's list?
Yeah, it could be.
Probably, but it's sort of like if I'm a consumer and I have to pay to book the plumber, then this should be an exclusive curated list of plumbers.
I think it is.
Well,
By reviews.
I don't know. Now it sounds like anybody can be on Angie's list.
Anyone can post a home on Airbnb. I don't understand what are we not seeing here? I can post my home on Airbnb. It could have
We're looking for
3.5 stars,
credibility.
and your home could have 5 stars. If I go on the website and I see one home is 3.5 stars and another has 5 stars, I'm more likely to book the 5-star home.
Right.
Right, so it's just a directory with the credibility stars and such.
Okay. Well,
Next question. Hello, as always, thank you for providing such consistently awesome content. A weird thing I like to do with the fallback time change is leave at least some of my clocks an hour ahead for a while. This way you get that cool extra hour feeling multiple times. With everyone's phone being auto update and the gold standard for time checking, I think it limits any legit confusion because you can and most likely will see the actual time quite regularly. But every now and then for the next few weeks when I'm hanging out by the oven or wake up before my alarm goes off and check the bedside clock, I'll get a little bit of that extra hour feeling. What do you think about this? Would love your thoughts. That's from Mark. I'll start by saying my dad was chronically late as a kid and probably still.
Your dad.
So what he did was he set his watch 10 minutes ahead.
Sure.
But then he knew that his watch was 10 minutes ahead. So then he knew, he'd look at his watch and be like, well, I have a 10-minute buffer. So he would still be late. In fact, sometimes more late because he would be calculating how much more time he had. And then when we'd get in his car to drive to school, we'd get in the car and be like, oh my God, we're going to be late. And then he'd be like, no, it's 10 minutes ahead.
Right.
So I'm saying no. I'm saying no to this. I'm saying you're going to look at the clock and be like, oh yeah, that's the wrong time.
Yeah.
It's not going to give you any joy.
Constantly discombobulated.
There is a fleeting little bit of joy, though. There is. That's what this. Sorry, I forgot the name of the person. Mark. That's what. It's the nanosecond of. Oh yeah, I have extra time because Mark is forgetting, right? It's not all. It's not an all the time thing. It's just extra, like a month or two of keeping the clocks like this, right?
Yeah, but wait. Now that I'm thinking about it, so he's saying he has a bedside clock and he didn't change that, but we just fell back.
It almost works better in his system because some of his clocks are correct and some of them have this buffer, right? So
yeah, but it's not a buffer now, right? Because we just fell back. So let's say he wakes up at 8 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
If he wakes up at 8 a.m. true time, his clock is going to say 9 a.m. It's going to be a reverse buffer.
Yeah, I guess.
Am I wrong about this?
No, you're wrong. You're not wrong, but it's also like, oh my God, I slept in. It's like, oh, wait a minute. It's only 8 o'clock. But what it really is when you sort of, when it's not time to get up yet and you look at your clock and you go, oh shit, I've only got 5 more minutes. But then it's like, oh, wait a minute. I have an hour and 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Mark just wants to enjoy himself a little bit. He just wants to have fun. And I say, Mark, enjoy yourself.
But it would be a constant irritant. Like, I mean, unless you can forget, like, I don't know.
He can forget.
I've never had an opinion on this before, but now I am big time. We gotta just keep daylight savings time. I never there's all these bills being introduced.
I'm a standard time man.
Are we in standard time right now?
Yeah.
No, this is the worst. Why do you like this?
Because
the sun is setting in Los Angeles, the city of sun, at 4:45.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's fucking winter. Get over it, man.
How about work isn't even done by 4:46, and if I want to go on a run after, I can't because the sidewalks where I live are very uneven.
Here's
Run
an
in the
idea.
morning.
Run in the morning when the sun's up.
Here's an idea. I can't because my bedside clock is set forward, so I never think I have enough time. What do you really like this? That's some sicko shit. Are you a
prefer it.
fucking farmer?
I mean, my people were.
You are wearing plaid.
I am.
Who cares about the sun first thing in the morning when you don't even need it? We want time
It's easier to
after our
get
work.
up. It's way easier to get up when the sun wakes you up.
I sleep
That's
with
how you-
blackout curtains. I don't care. I don't know what the sun's doing either way, man. You prefer this too?
I like to see the sun in the morning for sure. I'm a morning
Who
person.
cares at night? In the afternoon. Big
Hold on.
look.
I'm looking at sunrise. Let's see. What is it? So sunrise in Los Angeles right now is 6:34. Sunset is 4:45.
Okay.
So what time are you waking up?
Me? I get up at 6.
Yeah, it's still
Okay.
dark. Still dark.
So
It's fucking black.
my,
It's pitch
my little
black.
precious boy
My-
can't wait 55 minutes to see the sun?
My little precious boy is walking to the fucking school bus in the morning, and it's pitch black out there sometimes.
He's not walking to the school bus at 6 a.m., is he?
No, but the sun doesn't come up here until like after 7. A lot after 7.
Okay, well, I disagree with you, and I think most people are going to disagree with you. We want the sun up after work, especially some of us that live in cities where you can be outside in the winter. And by the way, you can be outside in the winter too in Atlanta.
You can when it's dark
So?
too.
No, you can't be outside in the dark.
You absolutely
And there's
can.
lots of street lights and other things.
This is the first time hearing this. All right, last question here. Hi, gang. You guys once helped me and my girlfriend end a debate about double chocolate chip cookies. Do you remember this debate?
Yes.
This is familiar as
vaguely.
well.
Yeah, he's saying you helped us settle the debate. We asked the question. This is a time when it's appropriate to say it sounds familiar. And by the way, the debate was about, is a double chocolate cookie mean double the amount of chocolate chips, or does it mean it has chocolate chips and the batter is chocolate as well?
Right.
But it's funny because now the Costco guys have brought the double chunk chocolate chip cookie into the common parlance.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But because that specifies chunk, then we all know that the double is referring to the amount of cookies or chunks. Anyways,
Right.
I'm hoping you guys can help me extend or end my relationship. So this is a lot of pressure. So
Yeah.
listen up closely, okay? I love this girl. That goes before all else. But a cycle of drama has continued for going on 4 years to the point where we've talked openly about calling it a day a couple times in the past. My girlfriend comes from a very large and dysfunctional family. Drama and beef galore. I come from a very large, happy family. Everyone gets on, handles their spats, and loves each other. Today I was blindsided by her father complaining that he'd never met my parents. Her father, a grown-ass man, is moaning at me, telling me to consider his feelings and that he wants respect. I tried reassuring him that no disrespect was meant. My folks are dealing with numerous ill family members, caring for young grandchildren, selling the family home, and trying to get away when they can, as that's their only respite. Not to mention I'm their third child, and it probably has never even crossed their mind. And if it's so important that he meet them, why didn't he send them an invite? Plain and simple. We used to joke that there was something in the water in her hometown because of all the drama, but now I'm concerned that it's not the water that's cursed. It's her family name.
Wow.
Actions I've witnessed from her family make me inclined to retreat and pull away. My family is sacred to me, and I don't want to break my own rules and open it to those I don't fully trust. Do I continue with this girl, us against the world, or do I take the cycle of drama and the family dysfunction as a sign that it's not meant to be? Maybe we need a break. Max Power, and he specifies that's not my real name.
His name isn't Max Power.
His name is not Max Power. So what do you think about this one? Again, we hold this man's relationship in our hand.
Wow.
How do you advise on that? I mean, that's
How do you advise on it?
Like-
You go back to the first sentence in this entire email. Not the entire one. The first
Chocolate chip cookies?
Not the chip cookies. What's the first line in the second paragraph?
I love her.
That's right. That's right.
I agree with you, JD. You truly love her. Everything's great between you two. And the only thing is her family sucks. I feel like you can find a way around it. Now, my one caveat is this is a bit of your girlfriend's problem.
Yeah.
She needs to be managing her own parents. It's not your responsibility to manage her parents. So what I would say is if she can't, like if she thinks this is fine that your dad, now, I didn't read the PSs. I thought we'd get into it first, but I'll read them now. P.S. I won't fully trust or respect her father because of atrocities I know him to have committed against his family and my girlfriend. But I love him as a good dad now and give him the chance to be a good dad. P.P.S. Her parents are divorced and the mother has met my folks a few times, something her dad referenced like a jealous schoolboy. He and my folks have also spoken on FaceTime. I think this could be, frankly, that could be the actual answer here, is that her father is jealous that his divorced wife has met your parents. Okay, but her dad's a piece of shit. Fine. So
was a piece of shit.
That.
Hold on. Was a piece of shit. Well, I think that's kind of important.
Okay, fine.
Well, it sounds
but don't
like...
you agree that she should be managing this?
100%. 100%. He also leaves out her feelings about her family. Like, if she's even aware how dysfunctional or annoying her family can be. I mean, obviously she is.
Does she bring that dysfunction into their relationship? Like, I have many questions before.
Yeah, I would assume no, because he's saying he loves her and he wants to be with her. But you're right, Rachel. That is the question. Like, sure, we've all loved people and it hasn't worked out for a multitude of reasons. If she's bringing this toxicity into your relationship and it's going to be a problem for the rest of your lives and she's not willing to manage it and her father is contacting you directly and being like, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Then unfortunately, that is going to be a problem. But I still think if you break up with her, you're always going to be like, you're going to miss her and be like, fuck. But there was no problem with her. It was her family.
Right.
And how much is she forcing you to be around dysfunction? Like, is it every Sunday or is it once a month that you are immersed in the maybe toxic, dysfunctional get-togethers? Or is it, less than that?
Yeah. These
guess...
are all things to consider. But I think this person, I don't know for sure, but he seems relatively happy with her as a partner.
Yeah.
That's my assumption.
Yeah, and, it sounds like he might be avoiding introducing the dads, maybe a little bit. He doesn't like
okay, this is a good question. I used to think that when people got married, it was like the joining of two houses. And your parents would be like, oh, this is so exciting. Now we get to have new best friends, your girlfriend's mother and father. And now I'm older and I'm like, I'm not even sure I've ever seen that once.
Right.
Where the parents of the married people suddenly become good friends. Is this the case? I mean, perhaps you don't want to say, but is this the case in your marriage?
Are my parents best friends with Rachel's parents?
Yes.
They're
not best friends. They're friendly.
They're
cordial.
Oh yeah, but they live in different provinces.
Yeah.
They're really like totally different personalities. Never would they, if they lived in the same town, I don't think they would ever be. They just wouldn't be for each other.
Yeah, they just don't have much in common necessarily, aside from us. And
but let's say they did live in the same place and you had a family get together.
Yeah,
they would both come and it would be cool. They would
be fine.
Be like, oh, what have you been up to?
Well, my situation is complicated.
JD's dad would be like, hello.
Yeah. My parents split when I was mid-20s, and they should have split like in high school. So when you bring that kind of dysfunction, I guess it's kind of similar. I mean, Jason, when he visited, when we were first getting together, we were upstairs and they were losing their mind on each other. Like, talk about dysfunction. And he looked at me and was like, should we leave? Is this real? Is this serious? I'm like, yeah, just block it out. Just block it out. So, I mean, no, if my family and his family at the time spent a lot of time, they just wouldn't. It'd be like,
it wouldn't.
No, thank you.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
But, this is also not his problem, right? Like, how their parents get along, like, is just not.
I mean, they
either will or they won't, and they're grown people, so that's really it. Shouldn't have anything to do with your relationship with your girlfriend.
Everyone's family is fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone. Yeah. I have to say mine's pretty normal. But when you sort of really think about it, it's got to be over 50% that are fucked up families or dysfunctional or
Sure.
I mean, think everybody has their own dysfunction, but in order for you to want to be friends with another family, it's got to be the same kind of dysfunction. You got to like, you find you're weird.
No, but what I mean is, so he breaks up with her, finds another girl. There's a very good chance that her family is also going to be dysfunctional.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He's drawn to that kind of thing.
Like,
Oh, he likes the drama. Drama. Max Power likes the drama.
his family's too calm and cool. He's got to.
He likes the like
Max,
I'm off to
I would
a
say have a
flame.
talk with your girlfriend. Don't break up. Have a talk with her.
Yeah.
And I would also say, if you are open to being cordial and slightly more with her father, throw him a couple bones.
Why don't you think about this though too? I didn't hear anything about kids. When they do have kids, there's gonna be a lot more family
That's
involvement.
True.
So how much of that do you want
How much of that are you willing to tolerate?
with your
Well,
own
Max,
children?
write back. Tell us exactly what's going on. Tell
Yeah,
us,
keep us in the
how
loop.
many kids you're planning on having and exactly what's going on. But for now, don't break up. I mean, if you're going to break
Well,
up, I would
it's
say breaking up over
complicated.
the cookie argument would be,
Yeah.
better.
I mean-
Because little things matter more. Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was the November mailbag. Now, Rachel and JD, if there's any questions in the mailbag that we didn't get to in this episode, what's going to happen is we could do them in December. But then I just don't want you to be confused because they will be.
Oh, I'll think
new.
that we've already done them. It's fine.
Yes. Right. Perfect. Remember to check us out, patreon.com/isthisgood. We will have the Patreon episode up this week on Thursday. If you have topics, email us at isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Thanks for leaving a 5-star review.
Hello.
Rachel and JD. I'm Ed Austin. And this was Hello. We'll see you next week.
Hello.